Hello. Check. Check 2. What's up, folks? Hello. Sorry I'm late. Why do you feel bad? I was sick a week ago or so, and then I got over that, and then today again feeling kind of ill again. Kind of low energy, a little bit of a sore throat. I've been hooting and hollering all week. I don't think I've ever really recovered from having COVID like a couple months ago. I think I've had some kind of lingering illness since that time. And it doesn't help that my son is at school. He's been more or less okay, but has this persistent cough that just won't really go away. It gets better, and then he picks up something else. Every time I pick him up from school, all the kids are coughing everywhere, coughing all over everybody. It's just like a fucking and I know they're trying to keep that to a minimum, but it's just it's kind of impossible after a certain point, and I just feel like I'm sick again. Are you sad that Meta lost $700 billion this year? Yes, because this was supposed to be my big break. I was actually pivoting to the metaverse. I was going to start doing the show there rather than on Twitch. You were all going to interact with this bad CGI version of me with no legs. That was a big plan for me. I had a big lucrative contract lined up with the Meta Corporation. I'd been meeting with Mark Zuckerberg personally about this. I already moved my legs. That's right. I put those first. Put those ones first. So unfortunately, because of the big stock hits that they've been taking, turns out not really that many people are actually interested in that yet. So the big lucrative contract I had lined up fell through. Unfortunately, they worked on legs and they still lost money. So it wasn't even just that. I don't really feel that well, but also I was ready to go at probably 12:30, 12:45, and then I got in a Fruity Loops rabbit hole for some reason. I just every now and then, not always, I just get music that starts playing in my head. It just starts playing there, and then sometimes I'm I should probably capture this. I should probably capture this melody that just popped into my head and it's just out of nothing. So I usually sit down. I'll just take 5-10 minutes just to capture the basic rudimentary version of what just started playing in my brain, and I'll just move on from that. And then inevitably an hour passes immediately. An hour I get sucked into it, and then I go into a state, and then I get out of it, and I've added 25 different sounds and done all this kind of crazy shit. So I was taking a little time to sketch a little idea. We love hyper-focusing, folks. We love it, don't we? Especially when we're putting off the thing that we're supposed to do, which is stream. Investors are legging it away from Meta. Oh my goodness. Weeness of lore. Oh my gosh. Hello, G Clippy. So that's what I was doing. Let that sink in, folks. Let it in. There we go. So that's what I was doing. I feel okay. I feel okay enough to stream, but I also got caught up in a Fruity Loops rabbit hole.
You can count on me. You're gonna have good old Rob to talk you through all this.
Oh shit! You know what I have to do? Do you know what I have to do? Do you? Do you know? I'm gonna reset the sub goal, but I'll make sure to count the one that just came in from Slightly Tethered. 1 entire year of Prime from Slightly Tethered. Thank you very much, Slightly Tethered. Very much appreciated. I'll make sure your sub gets counted here. I'm going to go ahead and reset the sub goal. Starting pretty late today, so I don't have a lot of high hopes for the sub goal today, frankly. But I'm going to reset it anyways. Reset that. I'm going to go ahead and add 1 subscription to cover Slightly Tethered. There we go. Good to go. All right. All right, there we go. So that's it. I was ready to go. I edited the Insurgents podcast as well.
You've just become an elite member of the Friendship Triangle.
Metal dipshit. Thank you so much, Metal Dipshit, for the 5 gifted subs. Holy Lord. Holy Lord, what a good start. Metal Dipshit, thank you. Does anyone want to hear that? Do you have any interest in hearing this thing that I was just working on? I don't have to take a long time to show you, but does that sound interesting to anyone? You want to hear it? Because now it's like playing in my head. If you want to know like what was stopping me from starting the stream. If you want to know what was starting me, I literally just like had a melody pop into my head and I was just like, oh, I gotta put this down now. Okay, let's see here. On the first day of my undergrad music history class, the prof said if we're ever in the practice room and feel the need to just stay in our groove, to go ahead and stay there instead of running off to class. Being late for stream because of making music was the right thing to do. Yeah, I agree. Something you gotta, when you're in those moments, sometimes like you sit down and you're like, I'm going to make some music right now. I have a little activity that I'm going to do. And then sometimes literally just stuff starts to appear in my brain and I'm just like, it's like, I can just ignore it and move on and forget about it, or I can try and sit down and just capture it a little bit. Let's see. So I'm going to open Fruity Loops in my window capture. Here it is. It's like a Cars thing. It's not as much of a synthwave kind of thing as what I normally do. This is more of like a Cars 80s pop kind of a vibe. What else did I want to turn off there? I want to turn off. Okay, so I guess started with these drums here. Yeah. Okay. Just slowly add everything that I have in the loop. And then there's some kind of a pause. I'm going to put some kind of a pause or a little transition.
You can count on me. You're going to have good old Rob to talk you through all this.
And then I'm going to put in some, like, that's really surprised me. I'm going to put in some little pause or transition and then go into the part where you bring in the other instruments and it goes like this. That's it. That's all. That's what I was doing in the hour before I started the stream. Sometimes that happens to me. Sometimes that happens. I'm just sitting around and something starts playing in my brain. And I gotta try and get it. This is what they play in the Friendship Triangle re-education camps, just nonstop. Just that melody over and over and over and over again. And eventually you just become happy. Send me more tracks. Okay, I can do that, Carrier Wave. It's really just a matter of, like, I've not had the most time, and it's literally just a matter of sitting in front of Fruity Loops and bringing up all the tracks and just exporting one by one, which is like, what is that, a 10-15 minute process probably for each track? That's the main thing. It's just it's annoying. I've been putting it off for probably 7-8 months. But Carrier Wave, of course, community member Carrier Wave, produced this track, or engine. I don't know. What did you produce it? I think so. Mixed it. And it sounds great. So I would like to take all these other tracks that I've worked on and get the same treatment. Mixed and mastered. Your turnover was better than some composers I work with. Okay, that's good to know. That's good to know. I'll try to sit down and do that over the next couple of weeks, Carrier Wave. Thanks for the reminder. One of the many things I've been putting off doing. And thank you to Comrade Social Distancing. Thank you, Comrade Social Distancing, for the 2 gifted subs. Very, very kind of you. The alert really surprised me when I was wearing my headphones. It kind of scared me, but I really appreciate the 2 gifted subs and all the support. Thank you. Okay. So that's all. That's all I was doing this afternoon prior to starting the stream. I was working on that. And turn that into something. It would be a good podcast intro. Yeah. I think that's something I might put some like lyrics on. Put some like actual, to make it like an actual song. I've been actually writing some like real songs lately sometimes. I might do that. Who knows? Sometimes I get the urge to do that again. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I haven't written a song in like 5 years, and I blame capitalism and my general lack of talent. I've never had a ton of confidence in myself. Like, I've written songs for myself over the last 10 years. I probably have like an EP's worth of songs that I've written, which are not bad. I've just never had a ton of confidence in myself as like a singer-songwriter. Like, I enjoy doing this kind of instrumental music. I enjoy doing the singer-songwriting, but I just like to just listen to it myself. And I don't feel this huge urge to share it with other people. You know? I like just making stuff, and I drive around, I listen to it in my car, I go for a walk, and I listen to it in my headphones, and that's it. That's the extent that I share it with anybody. I might have a winter EP in me. The number of times I've said that in my life. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard sometimes. So every now and then I fantasize about taking my EP's worth of songs and actually doing a proper recording of them and releasing them. But it will most, I don't want to get anyone's hopes up because it most likely will never happen. There's some decent ones, I gotta say. There's some decent, like, I feel somewhat confident as a songwriter. I've never felt super confident as a performer, you know? I like writing songs. I like writing hooks and lyrics and that kind of stuff, but I think I need to get hired to be some kind of, for hire guy, studio guy. Someone's got to hook me up with that. Then I can leave this whole dog and pony show behind. Leave all this nonsense. Stop showing up here every day, degrading myself, embarrassing myself on this platform, day in and day out, for your amusement. It's amazing stuff to do. It's amazing to make stuff to just for yourself. It seems like a healthy thing to do. I agree with that as well. I don't always have the healthiest of coping mechanisms, I guess, when it comes to life. And that is a healthy coping mechanism, doing sports, exercise, music, that kind of stuff. And that is one thing for me that whenever I've leaned in that, it has a like positive impact on my mental health, and which is something that I probably need to do more going into an fully adult lifestyle. I've been an adult for quite some time, to be clear. Exercise is key. I'm learning that as well. I'm really learning that as well. I have a bad tendency to kind of let myself go, I think, in certain moments when, I'm feeling a certain way. And I think that is a big part of not getting into those zones. Yeah, all my hobbies are side hustles now. I feel regret about this. Seriously, Eric, like that's what our sick culture just makes us monetize everything, right? You have to fucking monetize and commodify every little bit of ourselves. Here I am, every single little thought that I have, I've got to turn it into a fucking commodity and sell it to you. Crassly, disgustingly sell it to the Twitch audience. Sell myself. Sell my very soul. In order that I might funnel funds up to the second wealthiest man alive. Rather than just have my thoughts to myself. It's like the opposite version of 1984. In Orwell 1984, you're supposed to keep all your innermost thoughts to yourself and no one can know. And in our disgusting, it's more of like Yeah, it's more of a Brave New World type situation than a 1984 situation. And rather than keep all our secret thoughts to ourselves, not only do we have to tell everyone our secret thoughts, but we've got to turn it into content, don't we? We have to turn it into content and sell it to people and make money and use the money to pay for our fucking rent and the ability to live. That's what we have to do, don't we? Oh boy. I love hobbies. Exercise, meditation, reading fiction helps me so much more normal than I am without those things. Yeah, that's something I've been putting off even for the last couple of weeks as I've been trying to be more mindful about this kind of thing. Exercise, like I've been walking a lot. I got to get back into hooping though. Monetize your life so you can pay for childcare. This is what we do. This is what we do now. Great. All your hobbies, all your personal things, all your personal thoughts. No. It's not for you anymore. It's for the Amazon Corporation. It's for the Meta Corporation. It's for Twitter. Elon Musk owned Twitter. It's not for you anymore. Your hobbies, your loves, your joys, your personal feelings, your private life, your creativity. You just got to give it all away. This has started off in a kind of dark direction, hasn't it? Wow. My goodness. I wasn't expecting to go to here to this place. I'm even monetizing this. That's how fucked up this is. Musk is in. He's in the office. He's kicking out executives. He's bringing back the Orange Man. If you try hard enough, the Raptors will sign you. I mean, you still got to hope that one day you can just get that opportunity, you know? That's all I want. I just want a chance. And you know that if you had that, then you could show them what you could do. How many leftists will Musk unban for every 100 lunatic fascists? Yeah, I don't know if all the random leftist shit posters are going to be getting their accounts back. I kind of doubt that. Trump probably will be back, though. I saw people speculating. I don't think he will. I think it would be too much of like a bend the knee moment for Trump. And he's like, no, he's going to be back like right away. He's going to be back right away for sure. And he probably will, though. He'll probably use that platform to launch like January 6th Part 2 that actually works. And that'll be the full descent of American democracy into permanent ruler for life Trump land. I think it's good for you to purposely do hobbies you're bad at, so monetizing or even showing it to people is super far from your brain. I get tons of pleasure out of drawing sometimes because I'm awful at it. It's a zero pressure outlet. That's nice. That's a nice idea. Libs are going to compare Trump coming back to Voldemort. You know full well, though, like regardless of like how possibly dangerous it is to whatever remnants of American democracy are left, no matter how dangerous it is, Trump's going to tweet something fucking funny on day one, and we're all going to be right there, aren't we? We're all going to be right there laughing at it and comment and in the replies, in the mentions. We're all going to be loving every fucking moment of it, aren't we? We're going to be gobbling it up like little puppies. Give me that slop. We want it. We want it, don't it? We even monetize the whole end of the world. Why? How about that? We even commodify that, and we all just gobble it up. We turn that into content as well. Gobble it up like little piggies. Don't we do that? We're doing it already. Yeah, exactly. We might as well just get the good stuff. It's true. Nuclear attack and reaction vids. Yeah, there we go. I'll keep drinking that garbage. One of the best Trump tweets. I'll keep drinking that garbage. Hey, Oscar, what's up? It's all right. I'm all right. No problem. Everybody's just sick all the time now. I don't know. Just permanent sick. This, rather than doing COVID-0, we did the permanent sickness strategy. It could be like that Mr. Show skit where the doctor who creates the laser that can destroy the earth does a fundraiser. How many Trumpisms are in the vernacular? I think like even just as a contributor to American culture, he's just one of the best to ever do it. Whether you love him or hate him, you don't have to like him. You do not have to agree with him. I certainly don't agree with him. about a great many things. You have to just respect the fact that he's one of the all-time great contributors to American culture. I take no pleasure in reporting that. I take no pleasure at reporting that. He just is. Says a lot about American culture. That's it. That's one of the reasons that when Trump was elected in the first place, as surprising as it was, I never expected Trump to actually be elected. As soon as he was, though, I was like, of course Donald Trump is president of the United States. He's the most uniquely American president ever. This is the most uniquely American. This was just an inevitability. You know? It's just it was always just a total inevitability, wasn't it? You know? And he's going to come back too. This man is going to be president again. I don't think there's just any way of avoiding that outcome. I really don't think there is. You know, it's not that I'm celebrating it. I'm sure it'll be a fucking disaster again. And you know what? Aren't we all? Don't you a little bit? Doesn't a part of you miss that Trump era when every single time you picked up your phone in the morning, the first thing you do, you open up you pick up your phone, you open up Twitter or whatever, and you say, what crazy shit is going to be happening right now? And I look at this, and this constant feed of what fucking lunacy is going to happen today. You know? I'm sorry, but it had a brain distorting effect on me and probably millions of people. Waking up to Brooklyn Defiant Dad. We're going to be seeing plenty more of him. Plenty of Jeff Tiedrick. Trump coming back is going to be Jeff Tiedrick's supervillain moment. We all love a little bit of death drive in the morning. We do. I saw Jeff Tiedrick tweet this morning. Good to see him getting back into shape. That's right. He's getting ready. He's getting ready to his moment to shine. Yeah. He's doing the horse whisper. Yeah, he's doing single arm push-ups. This is a Wendy's. This is a Wendy's. George Takei. Eric Garland. Remember that guy? Remember Eric Garland? So many classic characters are going to be coming back, folks. So many classic characters will be coming back. It's going to have this weird simulacra and simulacrum effect because we're going to be this feels exactly like 2017. The game theory guy. That's right, Husker. The game theory guy. The Return of the King. God help us. That's right. And we're going to be in this intense, we're going to be in 2024 or 25. We're going to be this feels exactly like we're going to be reliving this memory of 2017, which is going to be now the past. You know? We're going to be living in this echo, this cultural echo. But it's going to be real Baudrillard hours up in this piece. You know? With no future, the past is all we have. There we go. We have been in an echo for decades. That's why we're still in this constant loop of reliving 80s culture as well, right? We relived 80s culture in 2004, and now we're doing 2004 nostalgia, which is really just copy of 1984 nostalgia. I saw this disturbing article about these new Brooklyn hipster parties that look exactly like the parties I remember going to in Montreal in 2004 with the unwashed dudes, of which I was one of them, and the beer flying everywhere and all the drugs and all the fucking the post-punk and stuff. All of that's coming back. All that stuff, which was a reflection of 1980s culture. Now we're reliving it again. Now that's retro cool. It's fucking weird, folks. It's weird. The nostalgia cycle is accelerating because we can't create new culture anymore. There's no new creating culture. It's all just there's a nonstop rehash. And now it's a rehash of a copy of a copy of a copy. Oh yeah. I was very depressed seeing that. Those parties were very lame at the time in retrospect, you know? It was very lame at the time. And it's even fucking lamer in, I think, 2023 if you're doing the same thing. Reagan is back. Yeah, senile old bastard hurtling the world toward nuclear war. But it's dumber every time, right? Like, it was dumb in the 80s, but now it's even dumber. Right? It's like, that's the thing when you continually copy something. Each time it's a little more distorted, a little more faded. That's what we're doing now with our culture. And it just gets dumber each time. It gets stupider each time. Second time as farce, but what's the third and fourth time? This is the question. Hey, you remember Alf? Well, he's back in Pog form. Can't create new culture sounds like the opinion of a guy who hasn't seen the new Star Wars show. I actually love the new Star Wars show, Prybars. Andor. Love it. Absolutely love it. It's so fucking good. And the reason it's good is because it's not trying to lean that hard on Star Wars nostalgia and is trying to take that IP into kind of a different, interesting direction. That's exactly why it works so well. Even though it is a copy of the aesthetic of the 70s and 80s films, for sure. I really love it, though. What channel in Discord can I post happy pics for you? I don't know. In the TRRS channel. There's pet pics. There's all kinds of stuff. There's all kinds of good stuff. All kinds of good channels. We're having some interesting discussions so far, folks. Jeez, I was expecting a chill day of hanging around and not talking too much, and now we've got some interesting, weird discussion going on about the shadow of a former culture that we live in. Coming in hot. We're coming in hot. Yeah. Hua. Cool to see life in a regular, not backwater planet too. Yeah, it makes the whole empire seem kind of interesting when it's viewed from the perspective of these like lowly characters that like aren't really involved in the big main storyline, right? The big galactic generational story, you know? It's seeing it from that perspective of people that are just like on the ground, that are just not really part of that at all. It's really interesting. Hey, Red Scary. The girl boss CIA director, yeah. I love the Star Wars CIA. It's cool. Civilians who'd be sort of concerned if they saw stormtroopers. Yeah, like the stormtroopers are not this joke. These like fucking goobers, or jobbers, jabronis that just can't shoot at anyone or are just there to be mowed down by lightsabers. But they're like fucking, if they show up, it's like, oh fuck. This is really serious now. You know, that's exciting. Yeah, and they're not always around. Yeah. Like that's what I mean. When they do show up, it's like, oh shit, this is a big deal now. Oh, that's nice, Margatron. Thank you, Margatron. Posting some nice pics. Let's take a look at these. Let's take a look at some of the happy pics that Margatron just posted in the Discord server. Thank you very much, Margatron. That's very nice of you. Where's my window, though? That's the question. All right.
You can count on me. You're going to have good old Rob to talk you through all this.
Hello.
Okay, here we go. Yeah. Little happy sun. We got a happy sun here. That's nice. Oh, that's nice. Look at that guy. That makes me sad. Slightly tethered. Oh no. I have the stream muted and the thumbnail of the album over Rob's face. Just reading chat. Red Scary's uncle's album. Okay. Good. There's the sun. And thank you, Arachnozak, by the way. Thank you, Arachnozak, for the 20 months resub at tier 3. Thank you, Arachnozak. Also, we got Australia rescued this possum, and it's IRL Pikachu. Let's take a look at this character. Oh my. This little possum. Look at that. That's nice. Look at that little fella. I would die for him. Absolutely. Very good. Thank you, Margatron. Very wholesome. I'm glad chat can finally see me the way I see me. Absolutely, Husker. We will protect it. He's very pure. That's right. Okay. That's exciting. That is a possum. Some kind of Australian possum. We got an Australian... Hey, we got a freaking Australian possum over here. Oh. Oh. Clone them no matter what the ethical consequences. Seriously. You stumble on a genetic combination like that, you want to make sure you capture that permanently. I would want to clone it and make it like lion sized though. I would mix up the genes like Jurassic Park style. I want to make it full size. Like I want it to be like the size of like a at least like a small leopard. Ideally, you want a big like kind of pillow shaped lion. Yeah. Good idea, Rod. This never goes wrong. No, it does not. No. Do not give genetic power. That's what I mean. Ethics be damned. We should just do it. Let's just try it. What's the worst thing that could happen? Life finds a way. What's the worst thing that can happen? Oh, you get a little bite from the giant lion-sized possum. Ooh, oh no. Oh, sorry. I hope you're okay. Fucking grow up, okay? If you want to make, you know, large, genetically engineered, cute animals, you got to deal with the consequences of it. Oh, I got a little nibble on the forearm. Ooh. Ooh. Turns himself into Bane within hours of being granted this power. The possum has heat vision? Yeah, the possum has heat vision. A building-sized possum dropped in the middle of Times Square in NYC would really unite humanity. That's true. I like where you're going with that. I like where you're going with that. People who grew up in cities find animals very cute and all I see is their teeth. Well, that's why we would genetically engineer them to be docile. Obviously, Red Scary. Obviously, while we're tinkering around in the genes, we're going to make them little docile, friendly guys. What's the problem? The possum is standing behind me, isn't he? What was that tweet from a couple months ago where someone was like, Michael Crichton rocks? There's a whole section in JP about the butterfly effect, and then the example of the butterfly effect is people creating dinosaurs. Hell yeah. We don't... Subtext is for fucking losers, okay? I genuinely do love Michael Crichton. What a... Someone who's... I'm like, you know, I don't want to say I'm happy that he died, but I think he was like a right-wing crank as well, and I think... If Michael Crichton was on Twitter today, we would all have a weird, distorted idea of Michael Crichton. He would be this like fucking... He would be like a Scott Adams type. And all his work from the past would be colored by that. You know? And now I can just enjoy my nice Michael Crichton childhood memories from when I read those books. Sphere is fucking great. You know? I love Sphere. The movie wasn't amazing, but I loved the book a lot. Terminal Man. Jurassic Park, obviously, which I read many times. Sphere is so cool. I like the one book he wrote, Billy and the Clonosaurus. The Great American Novel. The Great American Novel. I remember I watched the end of the movie Sphere when I was on acid one time as a teenager, and that kind of fucked me up a little bit. My sister read Terminal Man. What's that about? I haven't read Terminal Man since I was a kid, but my recollection of it is it's about a guy that has like some kind of like terminal brain disease or illness. And it's like he undergoes this experimental procedure. He has like strokes or something, and he undergoes this experimental procedure that like shocks his brain. This experimental medical procedure that shocks his brain every time he's about to have one of these strokes. And it cures him, and it's like this big medical breakthrough. But then he like becomes like addicted to it. He becomes addicted to this like shocking, and his brain starts having more and more strokes as a result. And he like snaps and kind of goes nuts, and they got to find him and capture him. It was something along those lines. The JP book had a part that didn't make it into the movie that I loved. The reason they didn't catch the extra dinos breeding is the computer that counts them just made sure none were missing from the parks. Or the pens. I don't think poems was what you wanted to say. It was not programmed to count extra dinos. That is interesting, yeah. John Hammond getting nibbled to death by the compies is in the book as well. Yeah, there's a lot more crazy violence in the book. I love the book, actually. Have you ever read The Tales of Dunk and Egg? I was thinking about this after the GOT chat we all had a couple days ago. I guess I probably got to get on board with those ones next, huh? Spare no expense. Yeah, I got the Fire and Blood series, and now I'm going to have to get into that as well, because now as we all know, I'm all the way back in on the dragon bullshit. We all know this. It means Rob loves crazy violence. Well, it was cool. There's a whole scene where like that Dr. Wu character, one of the main geneticists, he gets like absolutely owned by a velociraptor later in the movie, and it's horrifying in the book. I am planning on finally watching that garbage. Hell yeah. I'm going to be the more people from this community that were holding out on the dragon bullshit and are going to give in and get sucked back into it in the same way that I have, I'm just going to be so gratified for every one of you that tried to hold out, and got back into it. I'm going to be like, you're going to get sucked back into it, and then you have to wait the 2 years before the new season comes out. Margatron.
We
Red
simply
Wizard.
use the computer to mark up the size of the account.
I'm all in for Rob's Dragon Shift. Thank you, Dimitri. I never pretended I'd stay away. Well, neither did I, Doc, but I thought that I would be resistant to it, though. I was like, yeah, I'll watch this dumb shit. I kind of had that attitude. I kind of had this attitude. Yeah, I'll watch the dumb dragon show that we all know is going to be bad. And then you see how I've gotten the last couple of days. I'm talking about all these Targaryen prophecies and this shit. I'll keep drinking that garbage. God damn it. Red Scary, come on. Just watch it. Come on. I finally watched the first episode last night. It kind of mid. Does it get better? Yeah, I would say you got to just watch the season. You really do. I wasn't sold after one episode either. Is the new Game of Thrones stuff based on the George R.R. Martin book about the history of the Targaryens? Because that book is good. Yes, it is. It's exactly about that. But I guess my understanding of the book is written more to like this straightforward kind of history tome. And the new series have kind of really fleshed it out and created some really very compelling characters. I watched it, but dragons are not real. Sorry. Yeah, source for this claim, though? How about that? Source for this claim? Oh, Eric's never seen a dragon. Oh, so they just don't exist. How do I know the moon exists? Have you ever been to the moon, Eric? But I see it right there. Oh, but you've never been there, have you? Interesting. Interesting what you choose to believe exists and what you take for granted. Yeah, I have. Okay, shit. Okay. can create them with genetic manipulation. And why not? And why not? I have been to the moon. Okay, Ben has been to the moon. Good for her. Moon's fake. I have a dragon in my garage. Prove me wrong. Prove that I don't. I think dragons are unironically real, were once real, but they live at the bottom of the ocean. I see no reason to disbelieve that. Body cells. Coping and seething over astral projection, Chads. Yeah. My focus on the moon is so singular that not 5 minutes ago, I messaged Ms. Gwatch a joke about it. There we go. Did I miss any beef? Nope, no beef. No beef at all today. No more beefing. I'm tired. I can't hoot and holler today, okay? I had enough hooting and hollering this week. Okay? I had enough hooting and hollering. I think I said my piece. I think I said my piece over the 9,000 hours that I've talked about that particular subject from this moment and February or December or longer. As we were listening yesterday, I've been talking about this shit since 2020. So I think I feel pretty comfortable that I've gotten my ideas about this out of here, my analysis out of there. I will say, though, that I did talk to Ryan Grimm last night with my friend Jordan Ewell for the Insurgents podcast. We talked to Ryan Grimm about the whole Russia-Ukraine thing and specifically the House Progressive Caucus and this bullshit letter that they put out and then immediately backed away from. And I think it was a good conversation. You know, I think it was pretty good. And you know, I'm pretty comfortable with my kind of synthesis that I've gotten out there of sort of some ideas that are outside the mainstream, I guess, on this, that are presented in kind of a friendly, non-alienating way. LaRouchites are going after Ilhan now. Well, then, here's the thing that I talked about. I'll give you a little preview of the podcast and what we talked about. Here's one of the things that I did talk about, which is that there's something really fucking dangerous going on right now where the entire institutional left, what constitutes that, like the squad or what have you, the Progressive Caucus, the way that they've completely abdicated the responsibility of being critical about this to the right, to the Tucker Carlsons of the world, and to these weird LaRouchites. And that's really fucking dangerous because all that's doing is empowering those people, right? If you don't like those people, LaRouchites, or people like more isolationist conservatives like Tucker Carlson, or who want to shift the focus of the Cold War to China, like Tucker Carlson wants to do, and many of these right-wingers want to do, you have to articulate your own vision of a criticism of this foreign policy conflict rather than just getting on board 100% with what the Joe Biden administration is doing. And when these LaRouchites are yelling at AOC, or they're yelling at Ilhan Omar, and rather than engaging with the criticism in any way, they're just saying like, oh, these LaRouchite cultists, these MAGA people, these conservatives. It's really all it's doing is empowering those people, because whether these people want to admit it or not, these kind of people in the squad or what have you, these mainstream progressives, whether they want to admit it or not, that argument that is critical of the United States security establishment, that's critical of its role in this war, that's critical of the endless arms transfers and endless funding, there's going to be a real appetite for that from people. And if you just abdicate all responsibility to these LaRouchites or these right-wing people, you're only empowering them. You're only helping them by refusing to engage with any of this criticism, right? It does not mean that you have to support these people. On the contrary, there needs to be an actual vision of this, a criticism of this conflict that's being articulated on a mainstream level. And they've completely given up on this. And they've completely given up on the idea of anything other than framing this as this, the way that any other liberal has framed it, as this fundamental battle between good and evil. We got to arm and protect the noble Ukrainians. We got to continue the non-stop flow of arms. It's really a big mistake. I've been saying this over and over. It's a big mistake that they're abdicating this responsibility and leaving it in the hands of these. If they don't like these LaRoucheites or these right-wingers, they're helping them and empowering them by leaving them to be the only fucking people that are making this that are articulating this vision, this criticism. You know, it's really not good. Have you seen the Majority Report take on this war? Never thought they'd be bullied by their audience. Yeah, I haven't watched the footage, but I have heard though that Sam Sater has been like arguing with like adamant pro-Ukraine people. Like that's how fucking backwards this discourse has gotten, right? All of a sudden, like people like Sam Sater, who I love, by the way, love Sam Sater, even though I don't, he's not a fucking socialist, you know, and I don't agree with him all the time, but just someone whose analysis I always really enjoy listening to. It's making him look like this radical anti-imperialist. It's making the Pod Johns, the Pod Save America guys, they look all of a sudden like they're these reasonable foreign policy critics. That's how fucking out of control this discourse has gotten. Where people that are normally I would consider centrists or people that are like, you know, like have opinions that I don't agree with on this, they're looking like the fucking extremists because people are so adamant that there can be no deviation from the mainstream line on this. That's how fucking crazy this discourse has gotten. Yeah, the Pod Johns. I made a funny comment about this in the podcast, which I hope you listen to with Ryan Grimm. It's like the discourse has gotten so unhinged where the Pod Save America looks like the fucking gray zone. You know, it's weird. It's really weird. And that's what I mean. It's a big mistake. It's a big mistake for these mainstream progressives to be completely given up on making this argument. MR fans are melting down because Sater said there should be a final goal and conditions on giving support to Ukraine. Like fucking unbelievable for the most reasonable stances. For these progressives being like, of course we need to continue the arms transfers, obviously, but we also need to try and engage in some kind of diplomacy. Even that is just like so fucking outrageous. You know, that's how fucking backwards this is. And I've been saying this repeatedly, and I'm going to keep saying this. Like, it is a big mistake to leave the people making this argument. It's only going to empower these people, the Tucker Carlsons of the world. If you worried about these LaRoucheites, it is only helping them because they're the only ones out there making this criticism, which is whether people want to admit it or not, is a valid criticism. Complaining about and criticizing the U.S.'s role in starting this, in provoking this, the U.S.'s role in this nonstop arms transfers to these fascist militias. This is a very real thing. This is a very real criticism. And you can't just leave it in the hands of these cultists or these right-wing guys doing it because it's only going to help them. You kind of reap the audience you sow. Well, and that's true too, old Dutch. Like, that's the thing. It's like when you continually buy this mainstream narrative about Ukraine, about Syria, about any of these fucking foreign policy misadventures or proxy wars, inevitably you cork that kind of audience. And then when you start being critical of it yourself, or you start thinking like, hey, what's going on here? Maybe there's something more than meets the eye here. Then lo and behold, the audience that's there is like, well, you're doing Putin apologia or whatever, you know? But Rob, what about Putin bad, 2 SSR, something false equivalents to World War II? And this is what I was saying on the podcast today, Ben. And I really hope people listen to it. Like regardless of what your feelings are about Ryan Grimm, again, who's a guy that's like a progressive and not a socialist, someone that I don't always agree with, definitely, but whose analysis I like. Ryan Grimm is another one of these people. I hope people do listen to that because this is something that we get into, and how like if your view is that Putin is as bad as the new Hitler, and that this is completely unprovoked, and any deviation from that is Russian propaganda. If that's your view, then of course the only solution is like more war, more conflict. Like let's just do World War III, right? If Putin is Hitler, then let's just do World War III. If that's what you really think, then Putler is the preferred nomenclature, dude. That's it. You know what I mean, though? If that's what you think, then that's the only solution. Like logically, if Putin is Hitler, then World War III is the only fucking solution. If you can allow yourself to maybe, just maybe, as I've been fucking pleading with people on this program, on the Insurgents podcast, on Twitter, if you allow yourself to just maybe believe that the Western national security establishment, both had something to do with provoking this in the first place and is not so implicated in it out of the goodness of their hearts, right? That's my basic thing that I've been pleading with people to understand for months now. If you can allow yourself to believe that, then you can get out of this mindset of like, well, the only thing we can do is do World War III. Like maybe then if we have been involved somehow, or if it's not quite as black and white as you're making it out to be, there should be some kind of negotiation or diplomacy, right? But it's crazy how you can't, people, even that, as we've discussed this week, even this viewpoint, even just this basic idea that we were involved in provoking this, which should not be controversial. Even this basic idea is just so out of bounds that people get so upset over it. They can't articulate any conditions for ending lethal aid because then those conditions might be met and they would have to shut off the cash flow to the defense industry. Yeah, or what's wild is that the business press, oh, a little Freudian slip there, the business press publicly celebrating how the war is bolstering U.S. manufacturing. Yeah. Like they're really spelling it all out for us, aren't they? They are really spelling it out for us. I hate it too, HTA, and I know I've seen you complaining about this in the chat. The fact that we have to look at Tucker Carlson clips or Maxime Bernier clips or these fucking right-wing weirdos and freaks who are the only ones articulating these very sensible viewpoints when it comes to this issue. They're the only ones doing it, and no liberals doing it. None of the squad has completely given up on doing it. No one in the larger progressive movement is really doing it. And anyone that steps out of line gets fucking screamed at and called a Putin apologist. And talk about cultivating your audience as well. Like this is the end result of Russiagate, right? You know, Trump gets elected. These liberal brains just can't understand how that happened, right? They can't understand how it was possible that Donald Trump could get elected and become president. Can I sit back here? I don't know. Their liberal brains just can't comprehend it at all. So they come up with this fucking conspiracy about Russia and about how Russia is secretly the puppet master behind all these global events, and they installed Trump, and they're doing this and they're doing that, and every single thing that Trump does, he's only doing it because he's being blackmailed by Putin. And they invent this entire conspiracy theory, and then lo and behold, when this conflict heats up, it's like they can't escape from that. They can't escape from that mindset. You've created this fucking boogeyman in Putin, who's just this, which has been a huge gift for him, by the way. It's been a huge gift for Putin to present him as he's like the secret global leader pulling the strings of all these global events. I'm sure he's thrilled about this, like the way that people in the West have painted him like this. So you've only helped him by doing that. And now that this conflict is heating up, there's just no way to fucking cool it down. There's no way to stop it. There's no way to articulate a different viewpoint, because now you're just helping the evil dictator, the dictator mastermind, James Bond villain that you've created here. Like not only did they create Putin with their own geopolitical machinations in the first place, but they've created him through this propaganda campaign. So yeah, there's just no getting out of this cycle now. There's just no getting out of the cycle. They also paint Russians as bloodthirsty psychos that support the war, as if the entire Western media didn't literally cry about the Afghanistan war ending just 2 years ago. Just the lack of humility from these people who have been cheerleaders, as I talked about this week with Andrew Coyne and all these people. The lack of humility from these people that cheered on every single one of these foreign conflicts over the last 20 years, as they're now talking about Russians like they're these bloodthirsty monsters. Can you believe they actually support this war? Can you believe their media is actually like saying that the war is good? This exclusive thing that only happens in Russia, where Russian media is saying that the war is good and just and that people should support it? My goodness, that's so scandalizing. That is so scandalizing that the media would be on board with a war like that, and they would be telling their viewers and their listeners that the war was a good thing that they should support. I just can't imagine. I just cannot imagine that ever happening in our society. Our beautiful Western liberal democracy. That would just never happen. It would never happen. Like, give me a fucking break. One caller in TMR called Russia an evil fascist empire that's going to reach Poland one day. Like, there we go. That's where we are. That's where we're at with this now. That's where we're at. Wish everyone would just go out and get out of their echo chambers. Well, what I would like is for more people to get into this echo chamber where we have the correct opinions. Like, that's the ideal thing, where we have the correct analysis and the correct synthesis and the correct dialectic. You know, that would be really helpful. If we got thousands more viewers here being exposed to the correct ideas, then like that would be a good thing. You know, then everyone can have the good ideas instead of the bad ideas. You know? Hopefully one day we can get there. I've been trying, but people don't want to listen. Folks, look at this face. I've been trying to articulate the correct analysis, the correct analysis to people. I've been trying calmly. I've been very calmly explaining these correct ideas, and people just don't want to hear it. But we don't want them to expose the wrong to genetic mutation ideas. Listen, it's all part of the same package. Okay? It's all part of the same package. I've been trying, folks. I've been trying desperately to make people understand this shit, and they don't want to hear about it. All these people, I'm immune to propaganda, actually. I'm immune to propaganda. I haven't been propagandized. I just think that I happen to agree with the CIA this one time, okay? It's not because of propaganda. It's because of my own independent critical analysis of this, and it just happens to coincide with the CIA this time. It's not that I've been influenced by propaganda in any way. Oh shit! A new Insurgents episode just dropped. That's so exciting. Thank you, really chill guy. I was just hyping this up in the chat. I'm going to share the link right now. I really hope people give a listen to this. Why do I have a sub badge for my own channel? That's new. I hadn't seen that. Oh, whatever though. I really hope people listen to this episode. I think it's a really good one. It's a really good one. And we get into some fun banter in the first 20 minutes as well. Rob basically told us everything in it so I don't have to listen. No, not true. That's not true. I just gave a little taste. Okay, the first taste is free. The first taste is free. After that, Jordan has things to say as well. Ending the war in Afghanistan was by any measure a good thing, and these people were borderline hysterical over it. And yeah, and Arachnozak says, when I compare Putin to Bush Cheney, the libs around me still lose their fucking minds and say I'm way off and a Putin apologist. People really don't want to hear this, because obviously there's been horrible violence in the invasion of Ukraine, like as there is in any invasion, and all this shit about denazification, all the moral justifications that Putin is giving for it. Obviously, there's been horrible violence. You know, there's just no denying that. The reality is, and the reality that these liberals don't want to face, is that the invasion of Iraq was significantly more brutal. It was like the whole shock and awe campaign of Baghdad. Russia hasn't come close to doing anything like that in Kiev. They've bombed Kiev a couple times, and they've made moves toward Kiev. They have not treated Kiev the way that the United States government and the United States military treated Baghdad, turning Baghdad into a complete fucking war zone on day one, moment one. Remember that? The whole shock and awe thing? The destruction of the power grid? Like, come on. Like, I'm sorry. People, you can frame this as being Putin apologia if you want, but the invasion of Iraq was significantly more brutal. You know? That's just the reality. People don't want to you don't have to listen to it, but it's true. Yeah, I remember CNN airing it live, and I could not believe what they were seeing. And lo, of course, they're all saying, this is wonderful. We all love this. America's getting back at our enemies for this moral, this moral cause that we've become a part of. Like we saw Andrew Cohen's action about it, a piece about it. We're under this existential civilizational threat, and we're defending ourselves against our mortal enemy and stamping out terror. All the bullshit rhetoric that they use. That's another thing that Russia has done. Russia was deeply inspired not just by the invasion of Iraq in the first place, and the fact that the whole rules-based international order is complete bullshit, and that the United States obviously doesn't follow the same rules that they set out for everyone else, but they were also deeply inspired by the ensuing propaganda campaign about all these moral, just reasons. Like, Russia was paying close attention to this. And they're literally just doing this exact same Western playbook now. And the same liberals that supported it the first time around are sitting there fucking complaining about it. They wrote the book on this whole thing, using these kinds of moral pretexts to justify this kind of violence. The U.S. also literally destroyed the entire Iraqi state. As Vijay Prashad said, it took 100 years to build the Iraqi state, and the Americans destroyed it in an afternoon. Also deeply implicated in building the Iraqi state in the first place as well, putting Saddam in place, as we've talked about before. As long as he was being a good guy and fighting Iran and carrying out anti-communist purges. So I'm sick of the fucking hypocrisy over it. And anyway, I do really hope, here's the link one more time to the episode with Ryan Graham of The Insurgents. I thought it was a really good episode. And I think we were able to articulate some of these viewpoints. And I hope the people that follow Ryan's work are exposed to maybe some ideas on this that make them a little bit uncomfortable, but maybe have them rethink some of these things in a little bit. You know, rethink these things ever so slightly. And you know what? I fucking told myself, folks, I told myself, chat, that I was not going to be hooting or hollering today. I told myself this. And it's been an hour now of just nonstop hooting and hollering again. God damn it. I worked myself into a shoot yet again. This is what my whole persona is on here, Dakadoon. That's okay. Your opinions are the right ones, and everyone should follow them. Larry Picklejar, I like the cut of your jib, sir. You're going to fit in this community just fine, Larry. I'm sure Putin doesn't have any moral objections to wiping out a city like Kiev, but optically the Western world just wouldn't accept flattening a city full of white babies, but brown babies, no NBD. Well, that's right. That's when the West can wipe out whatever city full of brown babies it wants to, or Putin himself can level fucking Aleppo or whatever other cities in Syria that Putin bombed during the Syrian civil war, and didn't quite get the same level of pushback. You're absolutely right. Bring it on in here, Larry. Where's your homework, Larry? Dude, please. Larry? Is this your homework? Is this your homework, Larry? Fucking kids stonewalling me. People who don't even know that Libya happened have very strong opinions about Ukraine. And look at the reaction that people had, like Comrade Social Distancing pointing out. The reaction I had to just drawing these comparisons. Here's what we did in Libya. Here's what we tried to do in Syria. Here's what we're trying to do in Ukraine. You don't see how these are the three examples like recently of the exact same strategy? You don't see that? And people say, no! Flunking social studies, yeah. Yeah, I liked how the time waster guy came in here and pissed and moaned about the USA being right with regard to Ukraine, and then tweeting out about USA bad is stupid without providing a single shred of evidence to the contrary. Yeah, they're bad, as he was admitting, just they're not bad this one time, that's all. They're not bad just this one time. Larry, I feel like Larry Picklejar, I feel like you're kind of fucking with me, frankly. But I'm going to take it anyway. I don't mind. If you want to just gas me up for whatever nefarious purpose you might have in mind, Larry, you know, go to town. I kind of think you're yanking my chain a little bit here, frankly. You're a little too enthusiastic about this. I don't know what to make of it. I don't know what to make of you, Larry. Brand new community member, Larry. Larry Picklejar. Also talk about the conflict of interest when Canada's finance minister has a real estate investment in Ukraine and a personal family, generations-long family investment as well. You'd think she'll be objective. Absolutely. Seriously. And as I was playing yesterday on the podcast episode with Duncan Kinney, I've been talking about this since at least 2020, since like 2019 was when I first started talking about this on the podcast. I've been talking about and thinking about this for a while now. I just didn't learn about this in February of this year and decided to become a fucking expert on it. You know, I've actually been talking about this on various platforms for a while, for a few years now. I love the name Larry Picklejar. It is a good name. It is a good name. I like it. In 10 years, they'll release the details on the war. There'll be a fresh batch of leftists that will say, oh yeah, Ukraine was bad, but this time China and Taiwan conflict. They will all be, the USA is right there. That's right. Of course, we all knew at the time that the Ukraine thing was bad. All these people that fucking have been cheerleading the whole thing. Of course, we know this nefarious stuff was going on, but now they're not doing that bad stuff anymore, though. Now they're not doing the bad stuff. That's from the past, okay? The CIA was only doing that bad stuff in the past. Now they're very serious, though. We got to look forward and not back. Freeland's family has a history of carving up Ukraine for private interests. And we're not concerned about that. Okay. They're trying to be better, folks. None of us knew at the time. God damn, it's frustrating. Because you can see it happening, can you? You can see it happening, and it's just so frustrating not being able to stop it. Larry Pickle Jar. Okay? Larry, what's this? Can you explain this, Larry? What's going on with this? What's going on with some of these comments? I don't know if you are quite the enthusiastic supporter of this stream that you say you are, Larry. How long has Larry Pickle Jar been part of this community anyway? He just kind of slid in here, didn't he? He just kind of slid in here. Larry, we're on to you, Larry. I got a free sub. China thinks they own the entire South China Sea. What would give them that impression? I can't believe I can't believe fucking China is out there in the South China Sea acting like they own the place. That's America's job. You're talking about incels. You're talking about femoids. What is AMOG? What kind of devious fucking acronym is that? What is that? What is this? Okay, goodbye, Larry. Nice having you. You're gone, Larry. We're on to you. Okay, this guy was a little overzealous. Bye-bye, honey. Well, yeah, what was I doing over there? Jesus. Gave you a view of my little hallway behind me there, and there's stuff flying there. My goodness, flew too close to the sun. Nice try, Larry. Never trust pickles. I mean, I enjoy pickle like the food. I enjoy that as a little snack. Pickles are great. They deserve better representation than Larry. What was that drink? Isn't there a drink you can have where you like do a shot of pickle juice in addition to another shot? Has anyone tried that? Is that any good? Not a big drinker anymore, but that always sounded kind of appealing to me. That's just sounded so interesting to me that I was like, that must be kind of A pickleback. It sounded kind of exciting to me. I don't know. Thank you, John McCain's Ghost, by the way. Valued mod John McCain's Ghost. For sniping Larry there. Pickle juice is great for the hangover. It has electrolytes. Okay, good. That sounds nice. I'm getting a little peckish. Right now. I don't know if I want to make some kind of food here, if I want to maybe order something. It's getting kind of late, actually. Jeez, it's almost 3. It's almost 3 here. I got about another hour to go of the stream because I started late. I'm a bit peckish for a peck of pickled peppers. Ain't I? Overtime the stream. I kind of want to just continue working on that track that I was working on, frankly. What do you think Amon said when he and Vega returned home? Well, that's an interesting question. I'm not sure how that's going to go, because it depends on whether they change it from the sort of novelization, which I understand in the novelization, the history recorded as being just an unsympathetic, unremorseful murder, right? So we'll see if he just if he just owns it, because obviously the look on his face after the incident in the finale was kind of like, ugh, like there was some regret that took place. It was really a tugs at collar face, wasn't it? It really was. So we'll see if he gets back, if he owns it. I imagine Queen Alicent's not going to be really too pleased with that turn of events. She's like, I sent you there to fucking talk to the Storm's End guy, not literally kickstart this now what is sure to be a massive and destructive civil war, the likes of which the realm has never seen. Especially when she was really trying to avoid that outcome, and so was Queen Rhaenyra as well. See, what had happened was, yeah, you can't see you talk your way out of this one, sir. You'll never guess what happened. Yeah, but the funniest thing happened. You were gonna laugh. You were gonna laugh when you hear the wacky hijinks. It's gonna. Did anyone see the version? I don't want to play it because it's spoilers, but there's a version that had the Curb Your Enthusiasm theme play immediately afterwards. When he does that face, he does the face and that's very good. I was just trying to prank him. It was just a prank, bro. I tactically ascertained the threat status and proceeded to kinetic situation. Should I just do music? Should I just do some music? I don't know. I never do that. I've been talking for now like an hour and a half, at least an hour and 15 minutes straight. Are you going to get tired of listening to this over and over? I don't know if it's going to be good for subs or viewers, but maybe I should just try this. Maybe I should just try it and see how it goes. Maybe I should just try it and see how it goes, folks. What do we think about that? I do like that Vagar just doesn't listen to him. Establishing the dragons as these kind of deadly weapons that have minds of their own. The whole thing Viserys said at the beginning of the series, how like the idea that we control the dragons is an illusion. I think that's kind of interesting, something to explore. Yeah. I think that'll be cool. You know what? Let's do this. Why not? Why not? All I want to accomplish right now, I sub for beverage talk, not making music. All I want to accomplish right now is I've got a little like, I think this is a kind of song where you want the verse to be this, you want the chorus to just be the verse but louder. But I don't want to have just the same chord progression the entire time. So all I want to accomplish right now is to, there we are, is to have a little transition in between the verse section and the chorus section. That's all I want to accomplish. Let's see if I can do that. Close this. So what did I do before? I started off, we don't need those. I started off with just drums, didn't I? Set up to line. Move this over here. So what I'm just changing this to the structure of the song here. So it starts like this. Okay, so that's how it starts. Let's keep that going. You want to keep that going another time. Paint those in there. But you want to add another sound. You want to add another sound that comes in halfway through. I've never tried this before. I hope people enjoy this content. I've never tried to do this before live with people watching. It's a little intimidating. I've never tried to do it before. It's a loop, so you're going to probably get tired of hearing the same fucking thing over and over, which I apologize for. Is it this? What's pattern 4? Okay, so I'm going to turn those back on. Okay. No, I don't want that. I do not want that in there yet. Is it pattern 5? That's the music box. Do I want to bring in, there's a bass. I have a bass too. No, I think we want to bring that in the chorus. Okay? So here's how it starts. The chorus will be the same key. So what I want to try to accomplish now is to have a little just transition to get into the part where where the bass comes in and all the instruments comes in. Just like a dun dun dun, like that, something like that. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, so it's that long. You know what I mean? Something like that. That's what I want to accomplish with this little session here. This is kind of nerve-wracking doing this, frankly. I hope you all appreciate it. Another one of those. Keep that going again. And then you want to bring in, so it would go into a verse after that. It would be this. Goes into a verse, but with the bass. With the bass this time. Okay, so it gets out of that. Whoops. It's not supposed to sound like that. Messed it up. You fucked it up. Started those a little too late. Paint in that pattern there. Okay. So then I want the same little pause to get into there. And that's all I'm going to work on for now. The same little pause, which is what, 4 bars there. Okay. So there's the little song structure tentatively. So now what I need is something that goes right there. So I'm going to open up a new pattern, pattern 7. I have my MIDI keyboard here. Now we're going to try and paint. We're going to try to put in a little bit of a transition there on my bass. Like this is going to be like that. Like that. Okay? Okay. I'm going to put that in. Pattern 7 in here. No, that wasn't right. That wasn't right. Okay. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, folks? It's like that. But I have to just put in more sounds. Moo, moo, moo. Huh? See what I mean? You see what I mean, friends? Oh. Ah! I accidentally painted over the previous thing. No problem. You know what I mean? Something like that. Thinking a drum transition as well. Eighth note bass drum hits leading up to the fourth beat of the second bar of the transition. Yeah. Yeah. So that would be like it's 32. Maybe this. With something else, like a tom or something that gives it more of a flair, right? Like a, you know? Like a. Is it that? Would that be it? No. Like that, kinda? You know, kinda that. That sort of a vibe. That kind of a thing. I don't know. Paste that over there. Definitely the fill needs work. The fill needs work, but that's something that can go there in the meantime. What about this? You know? Like that. Okay? I don't know how much longer I can spend on this because it's just going to be playing the same chord progression over and over. It's going to drive everyone crazy. That's kind of what I had in mind, though. Okay? Let's hear it from the top. Oh. The metronome. You know? You get it? That's it. I feel like that's all I need to do right now. That's something. So if you've been dying to see my process here, there it is. There you go. My question that I'm asking myself is, will that become irritating? You know, it's a catchy melody, but does it play too much to become irritating? That is the question. I feel like if there's like a lead vocal that's differentiating from that in different places, it'll break it up a little bit. It might be too much though. There it is, folks. Now I just need to get to a bridge. I don't think I'm comfortable enough trying to change the key and go into a bridge with an audience. I think that's all I can do. I think that's all I got. That was less music than I was planning on, but there you go. Let's go back to this now. That was kind of nerve-wracking. Always still weird for me to share music stuff with people, even though I've been doing it on this stream for a while. Always a little weird. Even though I exclusively play music that I made on this stream. Such as this. This is another one that's going to need the carrier wave treatment. Okay, well that's all. That's all the music. What are we doing now? What's going on now? That's the question. Where do you go from there? Where do you go from there? That's the question. Let me open up. I guess I could. Like, God, I meant to watch that Ukraine video by Breakthrough News. I mean, there's those special times when you get MIDI Phil Collins. Yeah, that's right. Nancy Pelosi's husband got attacked with a hammer. I don't know. I just feel that just reading those words just make me feel nothing. I just feel nothing. I don't know. I don't really have any opinion on it. In his own house. Yeah, apparently. I don't know. I don't know. There's a lot of bad shit going on in the world right now, folks. I'm not going to get too worked up over Nancy Pelosi's husband getting attacked by a hammer. The Hammerites have struck the first blow. You got hammered. He correctly identified the nail in America's foot. The guy broke in at like 2:30 a.m. and police arrived while he was beating Paul Pelosi with a hammer. Man. Prayers up for the Pelosi family. You know, we might not always agree. We may not always agree. But I do not support or condone anyone in the family being viciously attacked by a hammer. Prayers up. Prayers up for Paul. That's my only comment on that. I don't know. Hammers don't attack people. People attack people. That's right. What, we're going to ban all hammers now? We're going to ban all hammers? Was it one of Putler's thugs? I'm sure there's speculation about that. I'm sure if we search Pelosi hammer Putin right now, there will be, there's at bare minimum, there's one tweet. There's one tweet that's like, there are no coincidences, people. One of these things. Was it an assassination attempt on Pelosi even? It could have been. If you're going to do it like that's, I doubt that though. People are, because I just saw this tweet that's like, I just saw this tweet that says this. We're just supposed to go on as normal. When there was an assassination attempt on the speaker that ended up with the massive injuries to her husband, is this our normal? Just don't skip a beat. I feel like if you're going to assassinate someone, again, I'm not a fucking expert. I'm not an expert in political assassinations, nor would I suggest that such an assassination would be a good thing that I would support or endorse in any way. In any way at all. I'm simply saying, though, if one was interested at all in some kind of a high... but I'll simply say that if one was to carry out some kind of a political assassination, you would think that that would not be the method. You would think that it would be a different method.
We simply use the computer to mark up the size of the account.
Ice pick, hammer.
You know, like, that's right, Dimitri. Thank you. You know what I mean, though? You'd think that's not what you would go with. Or is Putin sitting around thinking like, this will be the last thing they will expect? This will be the last thing the Americans will expect. Check Twitter. Oh no, I've been exposed. The brave American liberals have uncovered my plot. He's doing one of those. He's doing one of those. He tried to get, it was like it would be the last thing these American dogs will expect. A vicious hammer assault. No one would think that would be a real assassination attempt. Ah, the Eric Garland again, the thorn in my side. I think we should get the day off as well. I think Twitch should just automatically fill the sub goals of everyone streaming right now. And we should all just be able to go home in light of this, like, this dangerous situation. As someone who is genuinely concerned about the safety of Nancy Pelosi, says lol whatever dog in the chat, of course, I am incredibly worried that it is this easy to perform an attack like this. You would think it would be like more difficult to put yourself in that situation, definitely. Gallagher supposedly has ties to the attempt. That would be an interesting detail if it came out that it was one of those comically huge like cartoon mallets. Not like a hammer, like with nails, but like someone had one of these wacky, what was it? Fucking, what's her name? Harley Quinn? Is this a Harley Quinn situation? I never expected anyone to be so good at game theory. That's right. That's what he's saying. Like a whack-a-mole thing. Yeah, it says Acme. Someone, in a devastating situation, someone painted a tunnel onto the side of a brick wall, and Paul Pelosi, unfortunately, drunk drove his car into it. He was driving under the influence, folks, and he drove into the painted tunnel on the wall. Very scary situation. Very scary situation. My title is not even like... There we go. Jesus. One of the Danish satirical cartoonists who drew Muhammad the Prophet back in 2005 was attacked in his home by a guy with an axe. The cartoonist promptly locked himself in the panic room he'd built and left his grandchild outside the armored door with the axe guy. Nothing happened to her. Amazing. Remember when the most subversive piece of political commentary you could do in the mid-2000s was draw a picture of Muhammad? And we all had to pretend that that was like cool and normal? While the United States-led government, one of the United States government was carrying out this brutal fucking assault on Muslims around the world, blowing up weddings and funerals and just vaporizing kids, torturing people. The bravest thing you could do to speak truth to power was to draw a cartoon of Muhammad at that time. That was the bravest act of political satire you could possibly do.
We simply use the computer to mark up the size of the account.
My man should have sought refuge in those famous impenetrable Pelosi refrigerators, but I bet he got blocked by that ice cream.
Yes, thank you, Dimitri. There's just too much goddamn ice cream in there. Otherwise, it's like an impenetrable fortress. Too much of the ice cream, though, unfortunately. Anyway, I want to test my theory to see if there's anyone theorizing that Putin was behind the attack. Now, I don't want to hold this up as an example of like a prevailing narrative here. I found a tweet immediately from Patrick Zarelli. Now, I don't know if this is serious. He's got an American flag in the bio. Tech CEO, aggressive, progressive, and unrelenting realist. Patrick says today, Putin successfully attacked the Pelosi's from the comfort of his commie palace. Republicans are all happy about it. The entire Republican Party should be in prison and Putin should be dead. Putin, Trump crazy, hammer attack on the Pelosi home. I cannot, like this, if this was a parody, it would be pitch perfect. Right? You couldn't possibly have a better parody than this of exactly what I was referencing. He's connected all the dots. Needs more red string, but this is just one like on this. Notice also that MTG not only had Paul Pelosi attacked by hammer, conveniently timed to try to intimidate and threaten Biden. It also seems to be a diversion for Putin, who is launching supposed nuclear test missiles. Oh, fuck. Oh, my. Okay. I'm just going to look for Pelosi Putin to see if there's more. Can catch more on the dragnet here without mentioning the hammer. And hey, GOP leader, any word on Mr. Pelosi brain surgery after being attacked by one of your Putin, Trump, hate-filled rhetoric animals? Any apologies, or are you sorry? It's also reported that the assailant shouted, "Putin sends his regards," after the attack. Jesus. Wait till I attack her with a hammer and a sickle. What happened to Mr. Pelosi should be deemed an attempted assassination against a government official. Let's not try to sugarcoat this, and we all know who were driving the force behind this. So sick of this shit. Putin is winning. Oh, here, this is good. So there's enough of these that I feel like this is an actual trend here. Dimitri says, I feel like this question must be posed. Which way, Westerners? You can either find strength in this emerging counter-hegemonic struggle or be annihilated by the Home Depot hammer. This is a good one from Sagonomics here. There was an attempted assassination of Nancy Pelosi by a supporter of former President Trump. Vladimir Putin. Okay, sorry, I got to read this again. This is all in one breath here. There was an attempted assassination of Nancy Pelosi by a supporter of former President Trump, Vladimir Putin, and red-brown influencer Jimmy Dore. And the response of a segment of the media is to shrug, wink, and say, this is what happens to you. The worst people own this. So we got the three people that you would most suspect here. The three people working hand in hand here. We got Trump, Putin, and Jimmy Dore all at play here. Coincidence? The troika. The trifecta. The fucking Trump, Putin, Dore axis of evil. We're always talking about this. Posting anti-Semitic stuff, I guess. Well, there we go, folks. I think we're pretty much, there's going to be a big mystery about this. I think we pretty much got to the bottom of it. Tony the truck driver weighed in. What's this? Putin's hammer. There we go. I think we pretty much got to the bottom of this. There you have it. Clear as day. I think we figured this out. I feel good about this. Tony also a lover of bacon. Grom, this is just inappropriate. Grom Storino, come on now. What is this? What is this, Grom Storino? Ah, oh, look at this. Unbelievable. This makes me sick that you would post this in the chat, Grom Storino, or on Twitter. That's not okay. They played a mournful version of Maxwell's Silver Hammer at the funeral. Too soon, Grom. Is Italian on Italian violence. We hate to see it.
Use the computer to mark up the size of the account.
Thank you, Dimitri. Repeat code word, Putin's hammer. Now we need ready, comrades, when we discovers his sickle. Then we revolt. Then it's time for the 2 SSR to come back, finally. D. Burns was reacting to yesterday's stream last night. Oh, that's good. I didn't hear anything about that. I mean, Dylan B. Okay. I didn't hear anything about that. You can count on me.
You're going to have good old Rob to talk you through all this.
Thank you, Arachnozak. Well, I hope so. I hope he learned something. I hope someone in his audience, maybe they changed their ways. I didn't hear too much about this. Maybe D. Burns is reevaluating some of his previous thinking now. I don't know. I'm just going to assume that that's what happened. Down tempo Maxwell's Silver Hammer is really funny to think about. Like in one of those like new like action like ads like movie trailers where they always play like a popular song from the 80s, the 70s or 80s, but they give it this like epic synth thing or this minor key thing, you know? One of those things. The sad, haunting folk cover. We hear that all the time. Barista core. Grom, this is disgusting, this image. I'm trying to take it off the screen right now and I'm having some kind of technical issue. I've been trying to remove this disgusting, distasteful image from the screen now for minutes. Having some kind of technical issue. As soon as I figure out how to get this off the screen, though, Grom, we're going to have a talk, okay? We're going to have a little talk about this image. What kind of hackery is going on here? I think I've been hacked. Doing some kind of hacking. Hold on, I just have to go get a beverage. One sec. Grom. Unbelievable. Please take this hateful image away. I know. Some of the people in this chat they disappoint me. Grom, I'm not mad, okay? I'm not mad, but I am disappointed. Such a bad boy, okay? Now it's getting a little weird. We start talking like that. Okay, what's next? What's next on the agenda? I actually do have to go soon. I gotta go pretty soon here. I gotta go in probably 15 minutes. It was a shorter one today. I'm tired. I have no energy. I did do a little hooting and hollering. We did a fun little music side thing. That was kind of fun. You know, we could get slightly closer to the sub goal. I'm not expecting to hit the sub goal. It was a shorter stream. Less viewers today. Kind of tried some different stuff. You know, I did open up to you, chat. It's not easy for me to share music stuff. I have a weird kind of psychological block. You know? It's not easy for me to share that side of myself.
You can count on me. You're going to have good old Rob to talk you through all this.
John, thank you for the gifted sub. Thank you. I really appreciate that. And all your support, sir. Asia listening party. I mean, I really should one of these days, do this sort of fix or whatever that allows me to play music that doesn't show up on the VOD. Then I could just have Asia playing in the background all the time. Wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't that be nice if I just had Asia playing like all the time, constantly? In the background of the stream?
You've just become an elite member of the Friendship Triangle.
Gracious. Gen X Bushy, thank you so much for the 5 gifted subs. Thank you, Gen X Bushy. 356 gifted subs. That's so kind of you. Thank you. Heck yeah. I enjoyed the musical interlude. Thank you, Gen X
good old
Bushy.
Rob to talk you through all this.
Thank you for encouraging me. We'll see if that turns into anything. I'm going to try and do something with that little thing. Well, who knows what it'll turn into. Just wanted to capture the basic sketch of it, you know? Preemptive pack watch for Paul. Dimitri, thank you for a gifted sub as well. Thank you. What a kind chat. What a kind and generous chat this is. This community. That is really funny if Burns reacted to my video yesterday, considering I started off wearing like aviators and my jean jacket. I was kind of silly with it yesterday. I don't think I'll be beefing. Even like I've talked about having a officially sanctioned beef with Dylan Burns' channel or community or whatever. I think someone mentioned in the chat that he is like 23 yesterday, which made me feel a little weird about it. I'm like an adult. I'm like I'm a fucking middle-aged man. I should not be beefing with 23-year-olds on twitch.tv, right? You know, I shouldn't be. You know, I didn't have perfect political opinions when I was 23. Is he 23? I think someone told me that. The best part is having to fast forward through 10 minutes of sandwich eating, but there was some good stuff in there. Did you do war tourism when you were 23? Well, no, I didn't. And in fact, when I was 23, the Iraq war was happening and I was against that. And I thought it was bad. And I wasn't out there using my platform to support the very people doing the war. So no, I was not. I might not have been a perfect socialist, but I did. I was able to figure that part out, though. I managed to figure out that part. CIA bad. I know it's tricky for some people these days, but you know. I don't know, though. Maybe I shouldn't have a beef, though. Maybe I shouldn't be having beefs with people in their early 20s. I think I've said all I need to say about this particular subject. And people can just like choose to misconstrue what I say. They can not listen to me, they can ignore me, but I think I've pretty much said all I need to say on the subject. He's the one that sent his minion there. Oh, you think that's how it worked out, Dakadoon? You think it was like a flying monkey situation? To farm content? Unless he pays you a fee for it, it won't be worth it. Yeah. I would beef with more people if I felt like it had impact on my fucking, the numbers or whatever, the analytics. It doesn't seem to, though. So, that's obviously the thing that I have to pay attention to the most. They showed up in iDan's chat too. Okay, there we go. It was your vegan picnic and he brought the beef. That's true. That's true, King Uendo. I didn't start the beef, but I will finish it. Rob the numbers guy Rousseau, I always call him. I'm often being referred to like this. I will finish your plate of beef happily. I didn't know who he was until yesterday, so that's how wired into the left he is. What was this comment too? Long hair used to be a symbol of anti-establishment recuperation, y'all. Well, this is the thing. He is anti-establishment, but the Russian establishment. That's all. Yeah, he's going on CIA-sponsored war tourism, just like Hunter S. Thompson. Great stuff. I think that'll do it for today, folks. Dylan, if you are watching this, what did you think of the song earlier that I was working on? Do you like that? Do you like that kind of stuff? Or I'd be interested in hearing the feedback about that as well. If you're still here, I don't know. I know I didn't come back from making DCC people talking shit about minions. Of course not. Of course not. I would never fucking dream. I would never dream of talking smack about the old minions. Okay, just looking around into the raid here. I think I'm good. I think I'm good to go. The newest Minions was just okay. I didn't love it. Yeah, I didn't love it. Just do not ask what they were up to in World War II. No. The Minions and your Ukrainian grandpa is the two main groups you don't ask about that. We shouldn't talk about that. Don't talk about what the Minions were up to in 1944, and don't talk about what Oppo was up to either. Well, it's about that time, folks. It is about that time. Thank you for another fun week of streaming. Another fun week of streaming that it's been. Thank you for joining. Even the haters and losers and snitchers and beefers, even you. Thank you for watching as well. And if you're watching this from some other stream right now and you're reacting to my terrible views or whatever, what have you, goodbye to you as well. Okay? I don't discriminate. I'll be back on Monday. I want to do Alien on Saturday night. I would like to try and watch Alien on Saturday night. Let me just try and figure out whether that's going to be a possibility. Is Lodane coming back soon? I hope so. We miss Lodane. Hello, Chud Stream chatters. Hello. Thank you for getting us through the week. My pleasure, Relic. Thank you for helping get me through the week as well. Thank you. It's been an absolute pleasure. He admits his views are terrible. Checkmate, I win. You can't win them all. Can't win them all, friends. I don't know. I'm tired. I'm tired of talking. I'm just going to stare at the camera until the raid happens. Okay? Goodbye.